Chelsea.
What did the bottom half?
No bottom half, because Chelsea are in 7th spot, and
Why are
we
we
have
talking
a
about
lot
Chelsea?
of Chelsea. We've got a lot of you guys.
Yeah, but why are we talking about Chelsea?
Because we're going to
Even though I
analyze
know-
their season so far.
To be fair,
We're going to analyze. We have Mario back.
3 of you for Chelsea.
Exactly, we have 3 ex-Chelsea boys here.
If anybody says world champions, you're out.
I won't say.
Go on then.
What?
Get out.
Yeah, but I was
You just said it.
You just said it. You just said it.
Can I leave?
We're going to happily leave right now.
Just tell him I said you could go.
If he said I can go, I'm good.
No, but we just want to try. Mario, let's start with you on this one then. Looking at Chelsea's season, how much we can read into it so far. 7th position. Not going to mention the world champions thing because I'm tethered to the table, so I can't really leave or walk out. But how would you analyze Chelsea's season so far?
I think it's a team that comes back. We cannot call it, so like Greg said, but they came out of their trophy, started the season off, and had some glimpses, of course, you understand. I think, of course, people will look at the injury, but you also have to remember you have a team full of numbers. So they have a big injury list. But if you look at the games that they played, some of the games I also like, some were surprise losses, and some were like, clearly, like you could see, like, okay, they lost against Brighton. That one was, I think, one of the ones that hurt them really badly because they outplayed them really by far. And so for me, like when I watch them, I see like there is still something, you know, like you see those young boys and they're trying really hard and doing it, but some of the key things are not clicking. And when you have big games, like I given the last couple of games, like I saw Caicedo play, for example, also injured. Fernandes couldn't make it to his own team now, also got the injury. And of course, one of the key figures is Palmer for that team. And he's out, and it looks like he's going to be out for a longer period of time. So that's going to be a really, really big miss for them. So that means there's 3 players in the middle of the park of your team. It's not going to look as steady as they're trying to get it.
Well, 2 of those games in the last 3. So the Liverpool game, they were excellent. I think we all agree. The way that they pressed, the way that they played, the tempo, their creativity, and they defended. They had, you know, the back 4 was a makeshift back 4. I think they had 10 injuries. The other 2 games were, you know, the Brighton game they dominated, but again, these 2 games, Brighton and United, hinged on red cards. João Pedro, who had only who got sent off, I think he just come on. In the Brighton game, that turned that game. Brighton got late goals. The Man United game was a difficult one to judge. United won, but Sanchez was sent off in 5 minutes. And then Maresca had some sort of panic up. All right, Cole Palmer got injured, had to take him off. But he substituted Neto and somebody else. I can't remember who it was. Was it Esteval? He substituted 2 players very, very early. He just had this panic. And that never left him in the outball. So United really penned them in. So those games are difficult to judge. In terms of the season. The Liverpool game, if they could somehow take that consistency, that type of performance into most weeks, then they're going to have a good season. But again, the disciplinary issues, you know, João Pedro wasn't terrible, but it was a high boot. He was already on a yellow. And Robert Sanchez he came out, he made a bad decision, and it was always going to be a red. Those things are going to cost you. Did we see the real Chelsea in the Liverpool game? That's the big question going forward.
Right. Yeah. Can they produce that every time they step on the field?
Most weeks.
Now, the majority of teams in the Premier League this year can't do that. So they're not alone. But along with the red cards, along with the injuries, along with the questionable decisions from the manager, they've never quite been able to put just any sort of run together. And that is why they're in 7th. Because talent-wise, they should be way up the table. But they can't get it together. But as I said, the majority of the teams in the Premier League are in the same position.
Well, Frank, Mario mentioned it, and we always kind of poke fun at it when we're talking about Chelsea, just the fact that they do have a lot of bodies. We know about their squad numbers already, but looking at this Chelsea now, what would their best 11 be, in your opinion?
Well, the best 11 will be with centre-backs not injured already, with Tozin and Colwill. That's for me key because they lost Badiashile and Uchimpong as well. And James, I'm happy with James. James does the job. He's a real skipper, and we can feel that he's the power in that team. So we have to get back to Palmer as well. We want to see Palmer back and make sure that he can be the leader in the middle of the park. Caicedo and Fernandez have been very good, especially Caicedo. And Caicedo, worth the amount of money, the price tag that the club may put on him, because he's proving to the world that he's the equivalent of the players like we had, like N'Golo Kante, like what is his name, Makelele as well, and those players that we all cheered and appreciated. I'm really fan of Neto. That's why I put him. I'm more on the right side, but in the way that I want them to play, I think the only position that he can go is on the left side. But that team, like Stevie said, and like any other team, they have a lack of consistency. If they can get that little bit more consistency, less players injured after, less disciplinary errors, yeah, they can have a good season. But we can see sometimes the best against Liverpool and the worst, I would say, against Brighton. And that's what it is.
I just think he's got too many mistakes in him. When the ball goes back to his feet,
And then Sanchez.
Robert Sanchez, he takes all these chances. He takes all these chances, and you'll see him make some great saves, don't get me wrong. Some really good saves, but there's too many mistakes. If you look at Liverpool, they've got Alisson and Stevie's mate, the Georgian.
Mamadashvili, yeah.
Oh, he's in the mirror again.
You got David Raya at Arsenal, who he's been very consistent. And you got Donnarumma now at Manchester City. You could argue he's in the top 3 in the world. For Chelsea, that is, I think, an issue. They can't address it now. Probably not going to address it in January. But that is an issue if your goalkeeper's making bad decisions and mistakes. He for me, would be a concern. What about you, Stevie?
100%. I think the biggest problem that Chelsea have is that little triangle between the goal and the 2 centre-backs. You know, for me, Colwell is the only one that I particularly can rely on when he starts. Yes, they did well against Liverpool last time out, but yeah, that little triangle with the goalkeeper and the 2 centre-backs, I think, is where Chelsea's Achilles heel is.
Mario, your thoughts on what the boys just had to say?
Yeah. I think sometimes you understand when you look at the back, right, where the guys are talking about the stability, is that sometimes they take too much risk. In the sense of like the goalkeeper, sometimes he has the ball, he takes too much time on the ball. Sometimes you make the decision that you make has to be an easy decision, and the more he lingers with the ball on, the more uncomfortability he brings to his defensive line. And I think that's one of the key things that he has to be careful with, because if not, people are not going to... I mean, you as a player, you don't want to play the ball back, you kick it out. You don't want that. So I feel like those are the kind of things. I think like clearly why we all talk about the Liverpool game is because I think Chelsea played Liverpool from an angle of like... They won the league, and now we have to prove a point. And I think that was one of the clear points that I see. I saw in Frank's team, I saw Gusto standing. Gusto played against McAllister, for example, what we talked about. He didn't even focus on the game. He was just clearly focusing on him. So little things like that, what Chelsea did against the bigger team where the focus was up to speed and they did everything, I think they have to do it also against us. So respectfully, smaller teams, because that is where they're going to win games, and that's where they're going to, get everybody to understand what they have to do, away from the injuries that we talk about. Because, like Estefan, for example, a young talent, I love, watching him, the way he takes people on. I want to see him play. But he cannot play when you have a young player coming into a team if the team is not stable yet, because then he will start drowning too. So in that sense, I hope the young talents that really want to make the game and influence the game, I hope the team picks it up, because if not, it will be even harder for the young talents to break in.
The fullbacks have been affected, haven't they? I mean, if you're playing the game today, you'd want... If we were playing the game today, you'd want to punch Cucurella. But he's effective.
Yeah, he's effective.
No, I mean...
He's right.
If you said if there was one player playing today, you say, who would you want to lay one on? It would probably be him. But he's effective.
Yeah.
He's a nuisance and he's effective. And I tell you what, he ran... He asked the question of Mo Salah in the Liverpool game, do you want to run that way? Do you want to run back? Because he powered forward. And on the other side, Reece James, he looked as if his career was going to be a difficult one with injury.
Yeah.
But touch wood for him, he seems to have put that behind him, and he's a good footballer. He's strong, he's quick, he can pass it, he can step into midfield, he can play centre-half. As long as he stays fit and Cucurella on the other side stays as lively and as whatever you want,
as
annoying.
possible.
Annoying and all that sort of stuff. They are very, very effective. As Stevie said, it's whoever's in the middle two and the goalkeeper. That's kind of the area where they cough things up.
Chelsea are gearing up for their upcoming Premier League clash against Nottingham Forest this weekend, as Enzo Maresca's side looks to bounce back from recent mixed performances. The Blues have been hard at work at Cobham, focusing on tactical drills and finishing sessions to sharpen their attacking edge ahead of Saturday's encounter. The manager remains optimistic about his team's progress, emphasizing the importance of consistency and confidence in front of goal. With key players like Cole Palmer, Enzo Fernandez, and Raheem Sterling all fit and available, Chelsea are expected to field a strong lineup as they aim to secure 3 vital points on the road. Fans are eager to see how Maresca's evolving system continues to develop, with the young squad showing flashes of potential despite early season challenges. A win against Forest could reignite Chelsea's momentum and reaffirm their ambition to climb back into the top half of the Premier League table.